when I think back to teachers, like my kindergarten teacher, I still remember his name. Bob Burkhart was his name.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know how you'd spell it. I think there's a D hidden in there somewhere.
Bob Burkhart.
Burkhart. But like he has a son named Steele who I think ended up on Broadway and stuff. But like he was fucking awesome. Like he was my kindergarten teacher and like
dude, he let us have 2 snacks.
No. But like what are you in kindergarten? Like 4, 5, something like that?
I don't know.
No, but like he used to bring like an acoustic guitar to class and he would play like This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land, like that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember like I just waltzed up to the front of the class and like started singing with him because I just like, and he was super cool about it. He was like, awesome, like this kid wants to sing, you know? So he totally encouraged it. And I think like that's where like my love of singing started. Like he could have easily been like, get back to your seat. And then I would have like hated singing and never like pursued anything, you know? Taurus.
No way.
And he was King Iguana, which was short for Iguanodon, which was his favorite dinosaur. And then we just threw shit at each other. And whoever hit the fucking other guy with something got a point. And whoever got 20 points first won and got to be the king dinosaur of the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was like your own little Game of Thrones, but like prehistoric.
We just fucking threw shit at each other. That was the game. And like...
I mean, that's pretty much what Call of Duty is.
I guess so.
It's
and I remember
catch.
I won 20-19. That shit was like almost 30 years ago, and I remember it so clearly because it was so meaningful to me at the time.
Dude, but you know what? That's a
like,
fucking that's a pretty decent game because like you have feedback, you know? It's like you can't lie.
Well, you could, because like if you get
pelted, it's like ow, and it's like that's 1 point for me.
Right, but a lot of times there'd be like the side pelt where like maybe it hit clothing and like
Does that count? Well, then you have to come up with what the contingencies are.
Yeah, but
it's like if does a side hit help?
When you're 6, you don't you just lie.
Well, that sounds like your fucking problem.
Wow, Aaron. It's not my problem because the game ended a long time ago. I believe he's got like children now and a wife.
Well, his kids are probably playing it then.
You're probably right. Yeah.
I'm not. And?
It is weird because especially growing up in the 80s, like with schoolyard bullying and shit, like gay was the worst thing you could be. And now that we're all adults and, you know, we live in a city, have tons of gay friends, it's like, all right. It'd be the same as if they were like, you're Chinese. And it's like, just a thing.
Yeah, I was born that way.
Yeah. I'm not. So I happen to not be, but it would be fine if I was Chinese.
Yeah.
So how about that?
Dan, you're not Chinese? Really?
Yeah, I know.
Why'd you lie to me all
Pretty
these
shocking.
Years? It's like fucking... Since I wore my Jurassic Park watch I got for free from a Taco Bell.
I know. My last watch was the see-through jellyfish, the Swatch watch, where you could see all the gears.
Whoa!
Do you remember that shit?
That sounds awesome.
I love the see-through jellyfish. It's late 80s. It was what all the cool kids were wearing.
Well, it's what all the cool kids should be wearing right now.
Goddamn right. Come on, kids. Your shit together.
Get with it.
Get yourself a digital watch.
Get with it.
Good God.
You can't do that!
Dude, I had a teacher, I probably shouldn't say his name in case anyone wants to, like, fucking do a vendetta on my behalf, but, like, it rhymed with Lejeski. But he fucking hated me, and he resented the shit out of the fact that I was clearly like, I love singing, I'm gonna do music for a living, you know?
Yeah.
And so he would just, like, take me, like, aside and just, like, yell at me and tell me I would, like, never amount to anything.
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And at the time, I was in like 6th grade, and at the time, like, you don't know any better. You're just like, adults know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you're just like, I guess he has a point of some kind. And now I'm just like, if I ever see him again, I'll fucking punch him right in his stupid red-haired face. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's how all my art teachers were, too.
Yeah.
They were all very, like...
It's just amazing that, like, as a kid, you have to fight against, like, the repressed, like, insecurity bullshit of adults that are in charge of a part of your life.
That's pretty true.
It's really wild. But hey, just advice to anyone out there who is going through an experience like that, because we have some younger viewers. Those teachers can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, those teachers can really go fuck themselves.
Yeah, ignore them completely and follow your dreams.
Yep. All right, cool. How much money do I have?
$165. What fucking ice cream shop are you working at?
This cup is $1,500.
I worked at an ice cream place when I was 15.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I gotta tell you something. I don't recall ever walking out of there with 165 in pocket.
That's true. The company takes a huge chunk of it.
Yeah.
Your commission is probably like one.
And then 25-year-old Obama was like, I'll take some of that. He died like when I was so young too, that I didn't like fully appreciate how cool he was. Like I totally would have loved to have partied with Bob Ross.
Really? Wait, when did he die?
Like 94?
Because I remember being kind of upset about it.
Yeah, 94, 95 at the absolute latest.
Like it was the first celebrity death where I was like,
oh, yeah, I know. I think everyone was.
And what the fuck? 94?
Yeah.
So I was 7.
Yeah.
But I like watched his show.
Yeah, me too. I used to go to the pool in the summer and then like damn. I used to watch, I'd go to the pool and then come home and watch his show because it was on at like 2 in the afternoon, and I'd go to sleep, like, because his voice was ASMR before that was a thing. Oh, son of a bitch.
I know.
I checked it after, when I was 15, after I listened to an Adam Sandler sketch where he's this character that just says crazy non sequiturs because he's a lunatic. Mm-hmm. And so he's on a date with a girl, and the girl's like, I've always enjoyed this type of movie. And he's like, I looked at my asshole in the mirror today. It blew my fucking mind. I'm gonna be like, yo, King Iguana. I'll call him up out of nowhere. I haven't spoken to him since like 1995.
Yo, we playing again?
Yeah.
Did it have a name?
No. I don't think it did. Throw shit at each other? I think it might have been called King Dinos.
King Dinos? Yeah. Alright, so if you should just call him up and be like, yo, King Iguana, or whatever. King Dinos, the playground tomorrow night. And he'll just be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And he'll be like so into it.
Yeah, actually, no, I think judging from his Facebook, he'll probably be something more along the lines of, I'm a rabbi now. I can't be throwing shit at you.
Yeah, for old time's sake.
He's a man of God.
Yeah, but, you know, it's like, gets you closer to God to feel pain, right?
Who told you that? My mistress? Whatever, when I was in high school, when this first came out, like, I remember, seeing it, like, on display at, like, an electronics store, and just being, like, totally overwhelmed. I was like, oh, fuck, I can't, like, you can, side scrollers forever, please.
Oh, yeah.
And, now, having played Super Mario Sunshine, which is essentially this, just with much nicer graphics, like...
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Mario's polygonal face is just a joy to look at.
Well,
and with all that was that, like, this doesn't look intimidating at all anymore. It actually looks quite fucking amazingly advanced for 1996.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, the way that Mario like tilts into his run and shit.
Yeah.
It's like wow.
Yeah.
They fucking thought of that.
Well, I mean,
they thought of that right away.
This diner I used to go to back in my old home in Jersey. It's called the Union Plaza Diner, and it used to have this like all around the yay space.
Was it in Union Plaza?
No, it was I think it was in Union. Technically, it was on Route 22. It's still there today. If anyone's super excited about a tasty grilled cheese.
Who isn't?
Oh God, fucking no one I want to hang out with.
Yeah, you must be some kind of creep.
But they had little train tracks all around like the upper wall of the restaurant, and every now and then there was just a train that would like roll across the entire thing, and occasionally you'd just be eating and it would roll by and you'd be like, ah! It was super exciting.
Hi, Mr. Train, and it's like, choo-choo.
Yeah. It was crazy exciting when I was 6, and then again when I was stoned at 18.
There's a place like that in Florida. It's an ice cream shop called Sloan's. I think there's multiple Sloan's in the world.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. And
the 90s, I remember in the 90s, things felt like they were getting darker than they'd ever been, and like more cutting edge than they'd ever been. Now when you watch it, it's goofy as shit, but like, I don't know. At the time, like 1997, like Prodigy had released like Smack My Bitch Up.
Oh, God.
And people were like, oh my God, Smack My Bitch Up. That's just the kind of thing that happens nowadays in the 90s. you know? And now it's like, that's barely even music. Girl.
I just don't have it in my blood.
I did it when I was younger, and it is not good. It is not worth it, because A, you get caught, and B, like, it feels terrible for everyone involved, and it doesn't bring you the satisfaction that you think it will. It's just usually you're fucking insecure, or, you know what? I won't speak for anyone else. I was insecure, and I was just like, this will make me a man. I don't fucking know what I was thinking. I was like 19. Shit was like 20-something years ago.
Yeah, I don't really... I don't know, I can't, like, anytime I think about it, I'm like, oh no, that's...
Well, you're also an extremely monogamous person by nature.
Is that true?
Yeah. What do you mean is that true? You've been with one girl for like 15 years.
Well, that's true. Well, I don't know, I like girls, I think they're pretty.
This was during the time... People who watch the show know this. I fell out of video games while I was in college in the late 90s, very early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know, I was just stoned and was doing other shit. Whoa, look at this trapezoid-headed Funyun ring. Okay, anyway.
God damn.
So,
you must have been horrible to be in school with.
No, I'm fine.
Wow, look at this fucking rhombus-ass head right here.
This was all...
I don't even know what a rhombus is.
This is all inside voice. Get A with the...
Check it.
Oh, cool. Cool. I remember this. I remember I was in college watching my friend play, I guess a farther point, because I think he was swimming underwater and using the hook shot. So, that's neat. That just took me back, is what I'm trying to say. The little red predator dot.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Was it that one, or is this all the...
Like, I've told you that I wrestled an alligator while I was there, right?
Sorry, what?
Did I never fucking tell you about this?
No.
I had to have. I must have. Apologies if we've told this story before.
I know.
Yeah, I wrestled an alligator.
Oh, okay.
I have a picture I can show you. It wasn't the world's biggest alligator. It was
was it a baby alligator?
It was, I think it was a youth. It was like 6 feet long.
That's still pretty...
It was big. It was big enough to be disconcerting. It was many years ago, and you go on the tour, you go on the airboat boat tour, and you have these tours that this Cajun dude or like a swamp person will take you on, like just like a guy you can't understand.
Come on, my
tour. Like yeah, like they're cool as shit, but you can't understand a word they're saying. And before you go on the tour, they have like these alligator pens for like alligators that are like sort of like domesticated or whatever.
Domesticated by name only.
Yeah, exactly. A domesticated, cold, fucking heartless reptile capable of murdering you. So yeah, like the maybe you have to hit the pin like as you come out of it, so it like knocks you like right down.
Getting real tired of Mario shit.
So yeah, at this pen, like they have like 20 people gathered around, like looking at all the alligators, and the guy comes out. He's like, "Who wants to wrestle this alligator?" And my friend Brett, oh my god, my friend Brett was he was like, "Hey, my buddy Dan does," and I was really stoned at the time, and I was too stoned to like be like, no, I don't want that. That's not a thing that I want.
You were like, dude.
Yeah, it just like, well, just everyone like turned to me, and like everyone's face, they were all so excited. They were like, yeah, do it. And I was like, I guess I'll do it. And so I wrestled an alligator. It was, yes, Aaron, yes.
Thanks. Thanks for the enthusiasm.
I'm happy for you. And yeah, like it's once you get the jaws closed, it's super easy, because like the way their jaws work, they have unbelievable force that they can bring them down with, that they can like close them with, but they have no power opening their jaws.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, so so you're just holding it closed. But like there is this picture that exists of me that my friend took, and it's like I've got this like look on my face. I'm like holding the alligator jaw shut and sitting on its back, and I'm smiling. But it's like that worried smile where it's like, maybe you should take that picture quickly before this alligator up and kills me.
Straight up kills me, bro.
Straight up kills. This is as good a time as any. Also, I couldn't find the best picture of me wrestling that alligator from before that people requested to see, but I did find one of me, of 20-year-old me wrestling an alligator. So Barry, put that up.
Wait, you have more pictures of you wrestling an alligator?
There's a much better one where you can see the size of the alligator because it's from the side. This you can just kind of see the mouth and the tail, but it doesn't look as big as it actually was. And this is where people are just like, sure.
Oh my god, I fucking...
you had it. Hey Mario, I've always wanted to meet you in person. Princess Peach has been kidnapped. What are you gonna do about it?
Check this out, watch this.
Oh man. Dude, that was like my 21st birthday.
Did you drink too much booze?
Absolutely.
Nice.
I did.
Nice
did.
one.
I had some party days in my college years. Did I ever? I must have. I've talked about my two camps of friends, like the different vomiting styles.
Different vomiting styles.
Yeah, I had to have. I'll recount it super fast. I have two types of friends, one of which is like, hey, I think I've got to puke pretty soon, and then they turn their head and they're like,
Oh, yeah, you told us about that.
Yeah, and then the other one's like, hey guys, no! Just everywhere.
No, I'm not gonna puke. I'm not.
Playing this through makes me realize how many Pokemon references I have heard in my life and didn't realize they were Pokemon references. Like, because I was just getting into college when Pokemon was getting huge, and like that's really like playing this has given. Hi, Tamer Cole.
He's like, I'm gonna whip you! And then he takes like a long lick of his lollipop.
Is that a lollipop? Or is it ice cream?
I have no fucking clue what that is. Hey, Arbok.
How you doing? Hi! His face. Yeah, no, playing this through has given me a real appreciation for like, I don't know, just fucking how big Pokemon is.
Yeah, it's very huge.
Yeah.
And this is just the first generation.
Oh my god.
150 Pokemon out of like, what, 589 or some shit like
That's
that?
incredible.
It's pretty crazy.
Did I tell you I studied flowers in college for a while?
What didn't you study, dude?
I know.
Jesus Christ, paleontology,
Well,
Egyptology.
That was
now plants.
That was more of an excuse because like I went to college in Boston University and I just wasn't feeling it. Like now I think Boston's a great town, but I just sometimes like you're not in the right place in your life to be in a certain area.
Sure.
And so Boston wasn't working for me, and I was just bummed out all the time. And I was like, God, I just need to get away. And this letter showed up in my mailbox randomly from Tufts University saying, "Come study flowers in the French Alps." And I was like, that'll do. So I went and lived in the French Alps for a while and fucking studied the local flora and fauna.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super, super interesting.
Really?
Flowers are crazy interesting to
Is that why you knew what a stamen was?
Yeah, and a pestle. I'll tell you all about that shit.
But yeah, that would be more scary for me.
Really? It was actually really relaxing.
Well, I'm scared of large bodies of water because of sharks.
Oh, well, we thought it was gonna be scary, and we were actually like kind of scared of it. And then once we were up there, we were like, wow, this is really peaceful.
I parasailed off the French Alps.
Really?
Yeah, when I was 21. That was same year I wrestled an alligator.
Dude, what the H?
That was my 1 year of thinking that I was totally indestructible.
Damn.
And then I immediately fucking like went back on that shit at 22. I was like, never again.
Did something happen to you, or was that it?
No, I just got a lot of shit like that out of my system, and then I was suddenly like, I'm gonna do skydiving, and then I got right up to the day of doing it, and I was like, nope, I got super scared.
Oh yeah, skydiving is just unreasonable.
Yeah, yeah. Well, cause I don't know, I had this weird thought in my head that I was like, I'm gonna be laying on my deathbed one day and I'm going to think like, man, I wish I'd done all the things, you know? Like, and I was like, what if I regret not doing it, you know? And then it got to the day of, and I was like, I don't want to jump out of a plane. I like the whole thing about regrets on your deathbed is actually making it to your deathbed first and not splattering on the ground somewhere in the fields of Long Island.
True dat.
Yeah, so I chickened out, and then somehow that was the end of my like Daredevil days.
Huh. I
was also
had Daredevil days.
Yeah. It was also right around the time I started smoking weed more heavily. So I was like, I'm too lazy to do anything other than sitting on this couch.
And smoking weed.
Dude, I had times where like, I had long stretches of my life where like, I would wake up and just smoke weed all day, every day, and accomplish nothing, but feel as though I'd accomplished something, because weed kind of plays tricks on you like that.
Yeah.
Like I'd walk down the street and like mail a letter and I'd be like, well, time to pack it in for today. Nice fucking check that off the list.
Step back.
Nope.
Oh God, you know what it was like? I don't think I've ever told you about this.
Oh God.
I was at a Red Hot Chili Peppers / Foo Fighters concert.
A 90s delight.
Yeah, and I think it was 2000. And because it was at UMass. I didn't go to UMass, but I went to a concert there. And it was just like a large open gymnasium, like with like cement floors, and they just set up a stage and rocked it. It was a good show, but during the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I got a little bit overzealous and excited, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna crowd surf. I'm gonna crowd surf for the first time in my life.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Poorly. Well, let me put it this way: the first crowd surfing attempt also doubled as my final crowd surfing attempt forever.
Wow.
Yeah, because usually,
what a surprise.
Yeah, when people crowd surf, you better be a hot girl that everyone wants to touch, or else you're just gonna fucking fall to the ground. And so I went up, and everyone was like, "Hey, there's a lanky dude," and everyone was just like, "Nope." And then they all took a step backwards, and I fell the entire way and bashed my head on the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucked up. I don't think I got a concussion, but like I definitely got like a Looney Tunes style like bump. Like they're like you know those?
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's I'm sorry to hear that.
It's dangerous. Like all I remember is like I was looking up like during the first couple of people. And you can't tell when you're about to get dropped because you're looking up, you know? So like I was looking up at the ceiling, and then all of a sudden I just noticed the ceiling like getting quickly farther away from me, and I was like, that's not good. And then it was just like boom, and
Wow.
it didn't really hurt because like I guess it was just such a jarring shot to the system that it didn't like hit the pain nodules or whatever.
Sure.
But it looked just like that screen. Like everything goes white for a second, and you're like, ooh. And then you stand up, and you're like, I got this. And then you're like, nope, because your legs are like, blah. And then I remember precious little from the Red Hot Chili Peppers part of the concert.
Really?
Yeah. The Foo Fighters were good, though. Good times, though.
Were you okay?
Yeah.
Like the day after, were you like, ooh, it smarts?
It hurt. It definitely, like, the bump hurt. But, like, I had short hair at the time. It was the same time as, like, when that picture of me wrestling the alligator.
Oh.
You know, so my hair was short, so you could really see the bump. And I was, like, still in that phase where, like now when you're, like, an adult, like, if you get hurt, like, no one fucking cares.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that sucks, you got hurt. But, like, when you're younger, like, you get hurt and you're like, everyone check out how hurt I got!
Yeah.
You know, like, and you wear, like, a badge of honor for whatever
yeah.
reason. So I was just like, yeah, check this out. And all the girls were like, ew. And I was like, yeah, does that make you want me? And they were like, nope.
Yeah.
Why would that ever? What makes you think that? I went to a soccer game with my dad in Israel, which was crazy. We were chanting like El Yisrael, you know, like all that shit.
In the crowds?
Oh, yeah. And it was in the year 2000 when things were a little dicey in Israel. And Like we went, and the guys taking our tickets were flanked on each side by soldiers with submachine guns.
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, because I mean, like, when that country's in danger, they have to protect like any like large gathering of people, like, because that's like, you know, ripe for terrorism, basically.
Yeah, seriously.
It was fucking crazy.
Man, did you have a good time?
I had a really good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, once you take your mind off the fear of death, it's very it's a lot of fun to just enjoy a soccer game.
Isn't soccer the sport that just has like riots?
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of it takes place in every country throughout the world. Because like that's why it's like the world's game, because in impoverished countries, if you have a ball and like 2 sticks you can put in the ground for goalposts, you can play soccer, you know? Whereas like in a lot of places where you know, there's no security and there aren't like organized like police forces, and so shit goes down.
Why isn't Rochambeau like a world sport? Everybody's got a dick. Yeah. And she was like, "You gotta read this book. It's the book. It's the book.
It's the book."
And I'm like, "All right." And I read it, and I like pretended to like it, but I was like, I don't know. It's a little pretentious for me.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it.
He just like,
I just remember, like, because it was called The Catcher in the Rye, I always thought of, like, a baseball catcher having a loaf of rye bread thrown at him. That's all I could think about in class. And I was like, I'm not absorbing anything the teacher's saying.
I think it's just like this. Oh man, I don't even fucking remember. It was so long ago. God, I wasn't even with Susie at the time. If you can imagine how long ago that was.
I mean, shit, they make you read that book in 8th grade when you couldn't possibly care less about
I was like 14 or
stuff
something.
like that, yeah.
But I read it on my own accord.
Oh.
Well, this, by the way, this is level 2, Rainbow Redan.
Between Super Mario Sunshine, watching my friend play this, and watching him play Wind Waker for Zelda, which was the same time, I had a really lovely 2002.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I was a young man in his prime.
GameCube was so magical.
GameCube was a very lovable system, and I think
I feel like it was the last vestige of like Nintendo's creativity before they started like being like, all right, so Mario is Goombas and turtle shells.
right.
Zelda is Triforce and Octoroks.
Yeah, they kind of switched like they funneled their creativity more into the gameplay as opposed to like what you're seeing and what you're interacting with.
Yeah.
It was my own fault for not doing the masking agent for the drug tests correctly. It was the stuff. It was like the stuff you drink, and it like masks the weed in your system. And,
Really?
yeah, and like, but like the idea is like you drink it, and then like you pee a bunch of times, and it like gets rid of the weed in your system. I drank it, but then I didn't know I was supposed to pee a bunch of times. And it's a pee test, so I was like, I probably shouldn't pee, so I could save all the magic for this pee that I'm gonna drop in this cup. So I ended up giving in what they call a hot sample. And
oh god, it is warm. Like piss is 98.5 degrees.
for show. I got this call. This was in my Philly days where I was like just home stony playing Morrowind all day every day. So I was at home playing Morrowind, all stoned, and I got this call from, and it was like a woman in Texas, and she was like, "Hi, this is somebody from Quest Diagnostics.
Oh yeah. Quest.
Yeah, we got your test results here. You tested positive for marijuana." And I was like, okay, what does that mean? And she was like, "Thank you," and just hung up like super fast. I was like, whoa, well, I guess I'm fired. This calls for a tasty bong rip. And then I just smoked and I played Morrowind for the next 3 weeks until I got another job.
Oh wow.
It was great.
The job just apparated.
That's when I started, I got a job at the coffee shop down the street, Mugshots in Philadelphia, which has since moved to a different location, like further down the street, but like same owners and everything. And yeah, it was on Fairmount in Philly, like right across from the crazy medieval-looking prison.
Don't you dare. Oh.
But yeah, that was wonderful. That's where I met like most of my friends from Philly, and some of those friends I still have today. In fact, my buddy Josh, who I do a very low-key football podcast with, called Balls in Your Ear. That's where I met him. We were working at Mugshots together. Those were the days.
Oh man, you finally talked about it, huh?
Well, yeah, you know, it's something, like, it's not like we intentionally avoid talking about it. It's just something we like to do. Whoa, that guy's huge!
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah. We just do it because we like to do it, not because, like, we want it to be big or anything.
Oh, I think I can just set these off with my bow and arrow. Or not.
There you go. That's
Shit,
right.
man. I want to open that door, but I fucking cannot.
What is preventing you from doing it?
Weed.
Well then. I can't help you. 25-year-old Dan would have been able to really help you out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
With some weed, with my weed not having problems?
That's exactly right.
Like
I'd
not
been
having
like-
weed problems?
I'd have been like, bro.
Shit, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now? I don't know. She
Here.
wanted me to go to fucking Death Mountain.
Pause it super fast and find out.
Have fun. You gotta lay down and put that mirror right where the sun don't shine. Fuck!
Have you done that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
It's disgusting. I was like, that is what gave me all of my personal image problems. I was totally okay with everything about myself, and then I looked at that and I was like, that's me? You know when you go through dancing through life, and then when you're 17 you finally get into like a clothing store that has like the back mirror.
Yes.
And you just look at your back and you're like, who am I?
Yes. I should drink it when I go to White Castle, which should tell you how long ago that shit was.
Yeah.
Oh, God in heaven! He loves it!
I think since I've known you, you've never eaten fast food.
No, since 2004 was when I stopped. Boy, he's got some big-ass feathers.
It's a good choice. Bad food.
I went back to sleep.
Except for Wendy's. Wendy's is cool.
Of course.
Yeah, that was the first car I actually bought myself. So
That's an amazing feeling.
every car that I
Your
owned,
first car.
every car that I owned was like my dad gave to me.
Right.
Because like he got a car that he like inherited from his uncle or something.
Yes.
Like a Buick.
A Buick.
And so he like gave me I think I had an Intrepid.
Right.
It's a really cheap, shitty car.
Was it?
And then I had like a Buick Mercury. I forgot what it was called.
I don't know. I'm not
Buick
a car
Century.
guy. Oh, a Buick Century, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really shitty car.
Dude, that's what Chota Boy drives in Orgasmo.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, it's time to go to the Orgasmobile. My Buick Century.
Yeah, it was not a nice car. I think that's the one that ended up exploding.
Whoa. You had a car that exploded?
Yeah, it burst into flames.
Whoa.
Actually, I think that was the Intrepid.
I think you gotta land on the... Oh, boy, that's
whoa,
rough.
whoa. What the fuck?
How?
Hey, Dan.
Stop.
Dan,
Yeah.
what does Intrepid mean?
Does it mean adventurous or something like that?
Does it?
I don't know.
I had a car called the Intrepid. It was a Dodge Intrepid, I think.
Okay.
My dad gave it to me because he inherited a car from his uncle that was like slightly better.
Right.
And he was like, well, actually he gave it to my brother first, and then my brother bought his own car, and then my brother gave it to me.
Yep.
So it was like a triple hand-me-down.
Intrepid, adjective, fearless, adventurous.
Cool.
Yeah.
That car, it's just
It's about as fearless and adventurous as it gets.
I totally forgot that was the car that caught on fire. I thought it was oh shit. I thought it was the Buick, but I traded the Buick for some couches.
Oh my god. That was fucking funny.
Some guy was rolling around town with couches, and then he fucking was like,
that car
they're this much money.
exploded.
Then I was like, I have a car, and he was like, all right, I'll take it.
That was before, like, you got, you know, into YouTube and got a steady job and all that, and
Yes.
so, like, when you're going to buy your first own car, they're like, so what are you looking for? And you're like, I don't know, it's something that won't explode. That'd be a good start. I remember Brian showing up at my apartment with a full beard, and it was
Man.
like 8 years ago, so it was the beard was all black. Oh man, that fucking rock really hurt you.
Like the damage this guy does is insane.
Yeah, now he's growing a beard and it's all fucking. It's got a huge skunky gray streak, not a gay streak. That was a mistake of my.
It's got a skunky gay streak.
Yeah. Which Mario is this? Is this skin taken from?
New Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, like the one for Wii?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That was 2009, right?
I don't know. The first one was on Game Boy. Or, no, it was on DS.
No, I'm talking about the big one. The big system one.
Yeah, I have no fucking...
The one with, like, the red box.
God damn it.
Because I was working at GameStop when that came out, and that was 2009. I think that was the time. Or 2010.
What?
Yeah.
You were working at GameStop then?
I worked at... In fact, like, for a business thing, they were looking over my resume, like, recently. And they were like, so when did you join? They meant to say, when did you join Game Grumps? But they were like, when did you join GameStop? I was like, God, I'm surprised you'd ask me about that. But they were like, oh, no, that's not what we mean. Not the store.
Wow.
Yeah, weird. But that they did not know I had actually worked at GameStop. Huh. Oh God, I don't like all
Did
these.
that get you the fucking business opportunity?
Jiggling mushroom tips. It was like an interview thing. I was talking to like a businessy guy, and he was like, "So how long have you worked at GameStop?" And I knew some part of my brain knew he meant Game Grumps.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Shit, I worked at GameStop too," and like it just didn't register with my brain, and I was like, from like 2009 to 2010. He's like, what the fuck have you been doing for the what? Caused a lot of confusion.
Yeah, seriously.
When I lived in my grimy Bushwick apartment, the one with the 14 roommates and such, I've definitely told that on Grumps before, right?
You haven't actually. You
you
never
serious?
told the story about the commune.
That's crazy. Okay, so when I lived in Brooklyn, I had 14 roommates. I lived in a please help an old mime. So when I lived in Bushwick, there were like 7 of us. Like, I lived in Philly first, and like me and 6 of my musician friends, all dudes, like we all moved up to New York, and we got this converted loft, which was basically a fucking abandoned factory in the grimy section of Brooklyn. But because it was not up to code, it was super cheap. And
Not up to code, you say?
yeah, and well, those guys knew that like we would accept cheap rent because they knew that we could just call, you know, whoever in New York handles shutting down unfit for living situations. So it was 6 guys living in this big place, and then like 5 of us got like live-in girlfriends, and so that brought it up to 12. And that was funny because this would be the bomb shop. So yeah, so there were 12 of us, and as soon as there were girls there, it became such a nicer place to live. Because, like, girls, not to stereotype, but girls in general are more in tune with their environment than guys are, I think, when it comes to setting up and decorating a place. And as soon as girls lived there, suddenly, like, there was sunlight and, like, plants and animals could live.
Animals including humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this where it came out of, the rich guy's house?
And we just have like these massive parties, and then after a party, like these 2 guys just like stayed, and then they started paying rent, and I was like, okay, I guess we got new roommates. And that brought it to 14. Wow. And so yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous place. But like, also, we had a bunch of carpenters. I'm not missing any fucking plot by talking about this, am I? The last thing I wanted to say about that place was because it was not up to code, it would flood constantly every time it rained. And like the people who lived on either side of us would they just moved out because they were like, fuck this. Like, I can't live here. And so, like, every time someone would move out, we'd just knock down the walls between our apartment and theirs and just annex that shit like Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Yeah, so our place ended up being huge. That being said, I don't miss it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I live out here now.
It's I'm sure it's a good life experience though.
It was super fun when I was in my 20s, you know, like, oh, you sneaky bastards.
Fucking tiny squid.
The worst was when I was living in Brooklyn and I had to take 2 subways and 2 buses to get to my apartment.
Jesus.
Yeah, because they would keep shutting things down. I lived on the Montrose Avenue stop of the L line, and it was all janked up at the time. Now I'm sure it's much, much better because that's a rich, gentrified area now, to a degree.
That's nice.
But it's nice, yeah, after I left. They were like, let's class this place up a little bit.
Now that Dan's gone,
Oh my god.
let's fucking clean up.
I lived in a place called the McKibben Lofts. I don't even know if they exist anymore.
Was that like the place where there were like water leaks that you were telling me about?
Yes.
Where like 30 people lived in it at once?
There were 14 of us. 14 of us living in a giant place that was like something to the effect of like an abandoned factory, you know? Definitely not totally fit for human living conditions. And we lived in the basement, so whenever there'd be a flood, or rather whenever it would rain, it would automatically flood. Like there was just no way around it. So as soon as it started raining, we would all immediately be like, all right, here we go. And like we'd just like get in a line and start like hauling sandbags into the hallway and build a fucking dam to protect our apartment.
Are you fucking serious?
Dude, it's the... I mean, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 2009.
Wow.
You know, like these are the things that you deal with at the time, and then you look back once your life is in a different place, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, but I guess it's just what you had to put up with.
Right. I think I've talked about that before. Like, you don't think of them as hard times. You just think of them as the times.
Yeah, as times.
Yeah, you're like, this is where my life is at.
Man, when's the last time I looked at my asshole?
It's been a while, probably. I don't know. It's not something I often think about. And yet here we are.
I think it's been like 6 years, dude.
Talking to probably about 500,000 people about it.
I'm trying to think if I looked at my asshole here in California. Because I definitely in Florida, definitely in my second house in Florida.
Yeah, I remember a lot of asshole hijinks in that house.
Because we moved a lot weirdly. Dan and I was wrong, and I've
No.
always been wrong, and you've always been the guy shining light in my life.
That's very sweet and not true.
Oh, god
Like,
damn.
we only met 5 years ago.
Oh, I gotta ask you something
Sure.
after the episode's over.
Tell me.
Please remind me.
Was it 5 years ago or 6 years ago?
What?
How long have we known each other?
Shit, man, I don't fucking remember, dude.
2010. So going on 6 years.
Did I pick you up in the Mini Cooper?
I can't remember.
Because that's the only time I have, because it was like Palmdale. I was living in Palmdale.
Yeah, you were living in Palmdale.
Jesus.
And I was living in Brooklyn. I was only visiting LA.
Oh, wait, no, was I living in Palmdale when I first met you? Because I did
Yes.
have the Mini Cooper when I was in Burbank.
Well, that was the... Whoa! Hey! Yeah!
I gotta think about being your friend. That's what really does it for me.
Oh, that's very sweet. Do you remember the first time, like when we first started hanging out and we all went to the beach and played Frisbee? Do you remember that? I think Ross was there. It's a long time ago. Had to be like 6 years ago already.
No.
No?
Which beach?
I don't know. I didn't know California well enough at the time. I don't think I'd moved here yet.
The guy had to be like Santa Monica Pier or something.
Must have been.
Good lord. Was it at night?
No, daytime.
The fuck?
We were chucking a Frisbee around,
I mean, that sounds like me.
and you took your shirt off, and you were like, I'm self-conscious. And everyone was like, take your fucking shirt off, dude. We'll get nude. I don't care.
Oh yeah, now I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you've come a long way with that.
Huh. God, it's
Funny to look back on you saying I'm self-conscious about taking my shirt off, now that I know that you created a club where you whacked dicks with other guys.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, man. Well, it's just like, it's like I remember you coming to my house in Palmdale and like you had short hair and
Yeah.
and we were like, hello.
Hi.
I like your music.
Yeah, gosh, it's funny to think about. I remember meeting Susie for the first time and seeing her sitting on the couch, and like she was wearing like cool boots. I was like, your boots are cool. And then I was like, I'm stupid. I felt so fucking stupid.
God, you look like an idiot. You look like an idiot.
Yeah. It's just it's weird. because like she's one of my closest friends now, you know, and like it's weird. It's weird to think that like your closest friends were strangers at one point.
Oh, for sure.
That is always strange to me.
Seems to be the officer problem.
Maybe you should go to the bathroom. Oh, this is the I didn't do it. And then I get all embarrassed.
I haven't. It's funny. I haven't had anything to drink in over a year now. But like, it's funny because, and I'm not judging anyone who drinks at all. But like, it's funny when you hang out with your friends and you're the only sober one, and you're like, God, everyone's fucking stupid when they're like super drunk.
Yeah.
And like, everyone's like twice as loud and twice as sure what they're saying is interesting.
Oh yeah.
But like half as actually interesting.
But then when you say something smart, people are like, whoa. Like I remember I was talking to a bunch of like drunk people and I was the only sober one and I was talking about like how like Pac-Man has a kill screen.
Yes.
And they were like, whoa, that's cool. What?
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I was actually like, sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll watch like old videos, and it just something about it makes me realize like, oh yeah, like this moment isn't the only moment that's ever mattered, you know, like this was far in the future at one point. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the point is I watch old videos, and like, so I was watching Lightsaber Fight Saber last night, actually, and then next to you, the NSP video next to you, and I was like, holy shit, like 2012, it doesn't sound that long ago, but like we all looked different.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's long enough that like we were all in a different stage of our development as people.
Yeah. I hadn't developed puberty yet.
I think you had a beard. You had facial hair.
Did I have facial hair at that point? 2012? I feel like I was pretty clean shaven at the beginning of 2012.
Possibly.
And then it was after that MagFest that I got really sick that I started growing the beard.
Oh yeah, your norovirus toilet situation.
Yeah. Where I blew my lip.
That's amazing to me. That because for anyone who doesn't know, Aaron caught norovirus at MagFest, which is also why we go to less cons these days, because we get severely ill in general.
Severely ill.
Yeah, and Aaron, in a very intense bout of barfing, bashed his head on the side of the toilet and gave yourself an upper lip scar, and that's why you have like a permanent facial hair now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Permanent facial hair. Well, also because luckily Susie was like, I like it, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Thank Jesus.
If you didn't like it,
Yeah.
we're gonna have words.
Are you embarrassed by that scar?
I'm not like embarrassed by it, but you know, it's like
It doesn't make you feel pretty.
yeah, it's like either have the scar or don't by having a beard or not having a beard,
Right.
which is much less like intrusive than a fucking scar.
It's just an amazing idea to me that like the domino chains, the way they fall. Like, yeah, I guess we'll go to MagFest. Yeah, I guess I'll shake this dude's hand. Oops, I've got a virus. I need to barf. And now I'll have a permanent mustache for the rest of my life. It's just like, holy shit, that escalated quickly.
That's how our lives go, man. That's how everyone's lives go.
I guess you're right.
Fried up for my enjoyment. Shit.
Do you remember when we went, after we recorded the first Starbomb song ever, how you took me to Tokyo Wacko to celebrate?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we texted each other the next day, and it was like, bro, my farts are wacko. Oh, that was so long ago.
Oh, man.
We've had some marvelous times.
That was so long ago. God, I forgot that was in a completely different studio.
Yeah.
And that's when we recorded it. We were listening to it back, and we were like, man, we should do another one.
Yeah, we should turn this dumb song into a band.
Yeah, and we were like,
we should turn this dumb song into a dumb band.
yeah, we were like, we should make one about like Mario.
Uh-oh. Okay, so you put out a sequelitis maybe going on a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, about this game where you talked about what you felt were its shortcomings as a game.
Yeah.
I have never played this game. I've never actually seen it.
Oh, you'll like it.
Yeah, I already do, actually. It's really pretty. So anyway, that video got mixed reviews. It was beloved by many, hated by some, because obviously this game means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. But I know what you mean. I was very burnt out.
Yeah, well, because we were doing fucking guild grumps. And
Oh god, that was probably like the most I've ever overworked myself.
we're talking about the Starbomb song, by the way.
Oh
Those of you
yeah.
don't
Sorry.
know.
Late 2014. I was going through some pretty heavy shit. And like too many things were happening at once, and I was exhausted all the time.
Well, whatever. I mean, you fucking wrote that whole album. I was like,
Whoops.
no shit, I should help.
Thank you.
So, makes sense. Oh, man. But I think I probably would have blown it like I blew Up Dog and just laughed at the fact that it actually worked.
Oh my god. I wonder if anyone has ever fallen as hard for Updog as I did in that Goonies 2
Oh my
episode.
God. What is Up Dog?
What is Updog?
What is Up Dog? Oh, so
that was
good.
at your house too, I think.
The Goonies?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, it was.
Yeah, we moved. When did we move to this office?
I don't
In
even know.
2015, certainly. So anything that happened in 2014, which doesn't feel like that long ago.
Does not
was
feel
at your
like that
house?
long ago. God damn.
Yeah.
And it's fucking 2016 now.
Oh, I know, dude. My life was way different in 2014
I'm
too.
almost 30, man.
That's crazy. Especially since, who cares?
All right, fine. Well, all right then. Well, let's talk about what you want to talk about then. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got going on in your life?
I don't know. Now the pressure's on. Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though you work for GameStop. We should just change the name.
Yeah. Wait, for the last episode of Game Grumps, whenever that is, like many years from now, we should call it GameStop.
Okay.
Yeah. And then get sued right out the door.
I'm sure I'll remember that gag.
Me too. It's not even that funny. So you know you're gonna remember it.
Ooh, jeez. Well.
I'm a harsh on myself.